Hello. Welcome, everyone, to UFCW Local 1059 Union Hall. My name is Randy Quickle, and I'm the president of Local 1059. And I'm so happy we're able to host this event here today. As many of you know, organized labor has a long history of serving our communities, raising wages and benefits for everyone, but also helping those brothers and sisters in their times of need. The Stamp Out Hunger food drive that the letter carriers have put together is an excellent example of the good that can be done. We're proud of this, to be a part of this. I'd like to now turn things over to Mark Beach, the food drive coordinator, for the opening remarks. Mark?
Thank you, Randy. It has been my pleasure to be the food drive coordinator for the NALC Stamp Out Hunger food drive here in Columbus for the last 2 years. Our letter carriers work very hard in their communities, and that's the great thing, is the carriers get to see the people that they service every day, and there's the connection to the communities. Fortunately, I've been very blessed with a good paying union job my entire life, but there's members of our community out there that are less fortunate, and it's great to give back to those people. We could not do this without Mid-Ohio Food Bank and the United States Postal Service. They bend over backwards. We have supervisors and managers that come in on that day on their own time to help get the food out. Mid-Ohio provides transportation. It's just a great feeling to give back to the community. Just a couple things. This is the 27th annual National Association of Letter Carriers Food Drive. To me, it's important who we're helping. If you don't know, 1 in every 5 children that Mid-Ohio, people that Mid-Ohio services is a child. Ohio ranks 10th in the nation of low food security. It's easy to participate in this food drive. If you received a food drive card from the Postal Service or one of these food drive bags provided by the AFL-CIO, it's simple. Put some food in it, set it out by your mailbox, and your letter carrier will pick it up. If not, you can call the station. If they miss it, they're there early, and we'll come pick it up from the union. If you don't want to leave food out, you can simply make a check out to the Mid-Ohio Food Bank, and in the memo part, put letter carrier food drive. And they'll make sure that that money is used very well to help service our community. We have several people here today from Mid-Ohio, from the United States Postal Service, from area food banks, and I heard a lot of networking going on and ideal sharing, and that's great. That's what this is all about. We're hoping to set a new record this year in the Columbus and surrounding areas. So please, if you got a chance, donate to the food drive. You can drop it off at any local post office or give it to your carrier. With that, it is my pleasure to introduce the City of Columbus Postmaster, Jennifer Goldstein.
Good morning, everyone. 27 years, right? 27 years we've been collecting food for people that are hungry all over this nation. So I too was a carrier, and I took great pride in this day. This is probably one of the days of the year that I hit off that clock and thought, wow, I really did something good today, right? So not a better feeling in the whole world. Hunger leads to increased health costs for seniors, in addition to higher rates of illness in children and lower worker productivity in adults. That's why tomorrow's Stamp Out for Hunger food drive is more important than ever. As Mark mentioned, many of our neighbors deal with hunger on a daily basis. I want you to consider these statistics. 57% of Mid-Ohio Food Bank's clients have had to choose between paying for food or utilities. 71% of the people we serve have earned a high school diploma, and 23% have completed some college or 2-year degree. Any personal thoughts about why the post office is involved and why people should give tomorrow? We are proud to partner with the National Association of Letter Carriers to help feed the hungry in Central Ohio. And with that, I'd like to introduce my partner, Todd Horniak, the president of the NALC Buckeye Branch 78 to say a few words.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm Todd Horniak, president of the National Association of Letter Carriers, Branch 78. This is the largest one-day food drive in the nation. Last year, we collected 71.6 million pounds of food to feed the hungry. The good thing is, all across the nation, letter carriers deliver to every address 6 days a week. We're the eyes and the ears of the community. We see the need. So each carrier throughout the nation is picking up food that's going to help their communities. Last year, we collected over 125,000 pounds just with our branch. It's a team effort. Mark talked about it. We've got the other crafts, the clerks, the mail handlers, the drivers, the supervisors, the postmasters. It's a team effort from the Postal Service, and we couldn't do it without our employer. And we thank Jennifer and all the postmasters nationwide that's helping out for this day. We also have a lot of great partners, the United Way of Central Ohio, the AFL-CIO, the Central Ohio Labor Council. The UFCW for the last 5 years have donated bags for us to take to our customers, and these bags increase the donations because they see the bag and they know to put food in the bag. We have it the second Saturday in May for a reason. School's getting ready to be released. A lot of kids that have needs, they're getting meals at school. So that's why we want to stock up the food banks for the summer when there's a lot of need where they're not being able to get free school lunches or things from school. So that's the reason why we do it. And 35% of people in need are children, 14% the elderly. So, there's a lot of decisions people make. Do I pay my mortgage or do I buy food? So this really helps our community, helps people in need, and we thank all the support we get. And it's very easy. All you got to do is put some non-perishable food by your mailbox. The letter carrier will come, pick it up, and take it to the food pantry locally, and it'll help people in your community. And that's all I've got. Thanks.
Moving on, I would like to introduce a good friend from the United Way, the Director of Community Service, Kathy Mason-Valance, who came down this morning and was working hard and diligently to get all the food ready. So Kathy, please, if you would.
My message is to be as brief as Todd, because right now I know we're preaching to the choir. Everyone in this room understands the importance of having this one-day food drive. I get to experience it a lot from United Way because being with community services, we get a lot of people that come there needing food, and we are able to refer people to Mid-Ohio Food Bank or to other food banks that are out there. So thank you from United Way. We've been sponsoring this for years as well, and gotten to know Todd real well, and he knows because I'm always begging to give me more sacks or bags depending on where you're from. But thank you for the opportunity just so you can come up here and say thank you to all of you in the room. And I got to meet a great lady this morning named Dinky, and our lives parallel a lot. And it was an honor to get to talk with you this morning. So thank you.
I would now like to bring up the representative from the Mid-Ohio Food Bank to speak on their behalf, Malik Perkins. Without Mid-Ohio, none of this would be possible.
Good morning. I am so excited to be here for this year's Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive kickoff. Last year I was working in media and I was covering it from the other side, but now that I'm on this side of it and I get to say that now I have seen the impact of what these types of events and drives can have now that I've been working at Mid-Ohio Food Bank. 1 in 6 Ohioans in our area struggle with food insecurity. And food insecurity means that they do not know where their next meal is coming from. And that, as we've said earlier, that affects children who go to school and they come home, they're not sure if they're going to eat dinner or not. Seniors who may be living on fixed incomes, or just working adults who have to make those difficult decisions between, do I get gas today and go to work, or do I spend that money on food and maybe I don't have the ability to go to work? And all of these difficult challenges that so many people are living in our community are not always easily seen. Sometimes our neighbors who are in need of food or in need of help don't speak up. But when we have drives like this, we're able to get them the help that they need and make sure that they're able to go to work, or that they're able to go to school and perform, or that they're able to just overall meet their health needs by having that fresh food or that healthy food that we're able to provide to them. And so we just wanted to say that we thank everyone so much for being involved in this, for the media here for helping us get the word out about this, because as we said, it's so easy to get involved. Tomorrow you simply just have to leave those items outside and someone will come and pick those up, and we will get those to the food bank, and we'll be able to distribute those to our 20 county footprint and make sure that those people are able to get that help. And so thanks again, we appreciate it, and just wanted to share a personal story while I've been working at this food bank, and which really makes this drive to really speak to me. The first week I was here, they actually a lot of times have us volunteer down in the pantry just to familiarize yourself with a lot of the things that happen at the food bank. And I met a lady who actually was in nursing school, and she had been going to the food bank for quite some time. And she told me that if it weren't for places like Mid-Ohio Food Bank and the food drives that you guys have and the community support, there's no way that I would have been able to finish nursing school and just complete that program and be able to take care of her family. So we never really know how far these drives go. So I just want to say thanks again, and we are definitely changing people's lives and impacting people when we do good causes like this. Thank you.
All right, from the host city of Whitehall here, representing Whitehall City Council, President James Graham. I'd like to say a few words. Regular guy, not a politician.
No, if I was a politician, I'd be all slicked up and everything. I just want to say thank you for everyone to help kick this thing off today. We really appreciate this being kicked off in the city of Whitehall, and the host, Local 1059 here, along with them. I see that there's a lot of people out here from various food banks from around the central Ohio area. You all are doing such a great job out there of filling a need that is a basic requirement of life. And you are out there, along with the food that's collected in the food drive, helping people have a better life for themselves and helping those that aren't as fortunate as some others. So thank you all very much. I hope they collect more food than they can ever give out, but that's pretty hard to do because there's always somebody that's going to be in need. You're all doing a great job. Thank you.
I'd like to next introduce a person that I'm becoming to know quite quickly, Columbus City Council member Rob Dorans.
Regular guy. I'm going to try and steal that. So you can be less slick. Just wanted to thank the letter carriers, the Central Ohio AFL-CIO, UFCW for their partnership with the Mid-Ohio Food Bank for making tomorrow a reality. As a proud union member myself, this is what organized labor does. We don't just represent our members and make sure that they have a living wage and retirement and health care and all the important things that it takes to make a family, but also they care about the community. They spend hundreds, if not thousands of hours dedicating their time, their money, back to the community that they serve. And it's days like today, days like tomorrow, in which you've got letter carriers and other folks doing this work to help provide for folks in our community that are less fortunate. That's what organized labor is about. That's the commitment that they have to their neighborhoods, and that is something that I treasure when my opportunity to work with my local union, all the different unions here in Central Ohio. It's important. And just want to say thank you for doing that. Thank you for what you do on an everyday basis. And I have a proclamation from Mayor Andy Ginther from the City of Columbus. And if I could have Mark and Todd come up, I'd like to present this to you both. This proclamation, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but the most important part is this, is that tomorrow, May 11th, 2019, in the City of Columbus will be known as Letter Carriers Food Drive Day. And I want to say thank you to everyone in this room for making that happen, and hopefully we'll make sure that we do good work with the food bank. So thanks a lot.
Well, we got a lot of distinguished people here today. From the State House of Representatives Office, Erica C. Crawley. Thank you for coming.
Good morning, everyone. First, I would like to just say thank you to the letter carriers, UFCW and the AFL-CIO and others in this room that are working really hard to address the needs of most vulnerable people in our communities and addressing food insecurity. I can definitely tell you that you have a partner in me at the State House. I represent the 26th House District, which actually starts across the street and is comprised of East and Southeast Columbus, a little bit of Reynoldsburg, Whitehall, Groveport, and Canal Winchester. And some of you may know that we just voted the budget, the state operating budget out of the House yesterday. And I can tell you that one of my legislative priorities has been and will continue to be to make sure that we have money to address food insecurity, food deserts. We know that this is continuing to be a problem. It's not an urban issue. It's not a rural issue. It's a suburban issue as well. And making sure that people have access to high quality produce, fresh produce, and they are able to make really good food choices because they have the options readily available and close in their community. And so I just want to say thank you so much for the work that you're doing. And again, please know that you have a partner at the State House and a resource that's available to you at any time. So thank you for having me. Thank you for the work you're doing. And I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
I would also like to take a moment to thank Joyce Beatty, Congresswoman. She is declared in the House of Congress today being National Association of Letter Carriers Food Drive Day. She sends her well wishes, and she could not be here. There was a House meeting today that she had to represent. I'd like to change gears real quick and have West Jefferson Letter Carrier Coburn Morgan come up and talk about a small town food drive that he puts on for our letter carriers in West Jeff.
Good morning. So I've been carrying mail for about 5 years. My first year, the food drive landed on my birthday. So I'm like, yay, I get to work and do this. And the first year was pretty challenging. And I was always taught to work smart, not hard. So I got together with the high school, the churches, the food bank, and I said, hey, can we get volunteers? Went to the famous Aunt Antonia's restaurant and said, hey, can we get some donations? We made shirts for volunteers. They wore them all week. They put a big box with a bunch of bags next to their building. They took a bunch of donations, and long story short, we went from 1,000 pounds to 3,000 that next year. So it's been working out really well. So, for me, I've never been to a point where I need to use a food bank. Until I actually physically talked to the food bank, and they told me if it wasn't for us, they could not go through the summer. So, these are the same kids I throw football with on my break, high five. They're like, hi, mailman. And to walk by them and not do more, I just couldn't do. So that's what I do now. So thank you.
work with several local food banks along with Mid-Ohio, and we'd like to give them some time to talk about, what the food, the NALC Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive means to them. We have a couple new partners there this year. I'm going to start out with the Worthington Food Pantry with Kelly McConaughey, if she wants to come up, or you can do it from where you're seated. That's okay. That's up to you.
My voice projects
Okay.
better the opposite way. Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Kelly McConaughey. I'm with the Worthington Resource Pantry. This is our first year participating in the Stamp Out Hunger food drive, and it really means a lot to us. We started as a really tiny food pantry, and we've expanded and grown. We're actually going to enter our 10th year this year, and the 2 millionth meal that we're providing to the community is going to go out of our door this summer. So we've expanded and actually added on additional zip codes so that we can continue to serve the growing need that exists in and around the northern part of Columbus. Our service area spans from Plain City to New Albany. We're from Delaware into Columbus. And last year we served 1,800 families. 43% of the people we served were children, and 12% were elderly. So we are incredibly thankful. The food drives bring in really unique items that our neighbors really want and they love to be able to get. So like protein items like peanut butter and tuna, to personal care items, diapers and shampoo really make a difference because this, as you all know, a lot of those items can't be purchased using SNAP benefits. So our neighbors look to us for those items as well. So we are incredibly thankful for the postal carriers and USPS and everybody who makes this possible, and we're so glad to be part of it this year. So thank you.
From Delaware People in Need, Kathy Hoff. I know that the carriers in Delaware are really looking forward to tomorrow. If you'd like to come up and speak.
First off, I've only been with People in Need a year. I volunteered there prior, but I volunteered right before last year's food drive for the carriers. And I remember being there watching all this food came in. And it was on 8 different pallets. They're called Gaylords, I think. And it was amazing the amount of food that came in from our community. And I was one of the volunteers that helped sort and put everything away. And I did not realize until today that it was due to kids getting out of school. But I will tell you, that is what helped a huge part of our last summer being able to get through. I started at People in Need as a full-time worker in July, and I'm just amazed at all the collaboration to be able to make sure that we're able to address people who are food insecure in our area. And it comes from people of all walks of life. It's areas where people may have lost their jobs. They are people who, medical bills, and they make tough choices about where's my money going to go. And if we're able to help erase where this need and allow them to focus on other things so that they can be successful in life, we've made an awesome decision. And thank you to all the letter carriers. You make it happen.
We're going to keep trying to move right along here. The representative from the Gahanna Residents in Need. Last second edition.
Yes. Last but hopefully not least. Hi, my name is Brenda Johnston. I am the Executive Director for Gahanna Residents in Need. This is the first year that we will be able to participate with you, and we feel blessed, and it's a total privilege to be a part of this. We have seen expanded numbers since 2013, with growth from 40 to 80% every year. It's been really hard for us to stay on top of it. A lot of people think, whoa, Gahanna, you don't have need in Gahanna. Oh yeah, we really do. So we had to create summer lunch program for summer food insecurity with families. and a weekend snack pack program. So we're super excited to be able to participate in this, and we thank you all for everything that you do. Thank you.
All right, she's convinced me to go ahead and call her by her nickname from the Dublin Food Pantry, Denise Dinky Youngstein Parrish.
And I don't need to go up there, I have a really loud voice. So I just want to say thank you very much for having us here. And the bottom line is, we don't know what's going on with folks who come through the door. Trust me, you would be surprised and shocked about why it is that people end up at food pantries. I just want to share this message. People don't come to food pantries who don't need it. So we can just sort of throw that to the wayside and forget about it. We don't need to pass judgment on why people are there. People come because they need it. And you help meet the need. If it weren't for what you're doing this Saturday, we would not be able, especially in Dublin, because people think, whoa, Dublin, what? You need a food pantry there? 3 of the elementary schools in Dublin currently are 60% of free and reduced lunch. Those elementary schools feed into their middle schools, which feed into their high schools. People move to Dublin for the schools, and then they can't afford to live there. So there's all kinds of contradictions in our lives. Postal carriers absolutely are on the front lines. They see things that nobody else sees, and we need them to be our eyes and ears. So we're extremely grateful. Thank you very much. Kudos to everybody here. And I just want to laugh for a second and say that Miss Kathy said that we think we're kindred spirits. I think what she's saying is we've been around the block more than once. So I'm going to take it as a compliment, though. So thanks, everybody. Good luck tomorrow.
From Westerville Area Resource Ministries, I'm going to give a compliment to this guy. When it comes to the food drive, they've got it going on. They always take care of us up there in Westerville, Chad and Maxner.
I literally was a writer, and then I found out when I came in that I was up here. So I've been working with Mark for 2 years now, and for the food pantries, this is that time of year when you really start to see donations go down. Just, like the churches, summer comes and you receive less in terms of donations. And I just want to shout out to Mark and his team for taking the time to keep awareness going on that need of food insecurity, and his dedication to work with the carriers and all the carriers that are out there. What did you say, it was 76 million pounds last year? And probably with dedication with people like Mark out there, that's probably going to get higher. And that's a lot of weight for those guys to lug around on top of what they normally do. So for Mark, the carriers, and everybody, I say we give one last round of applause. I appreciate that dedication. It's exciting to see that, that we can all come together to keep this going. So again, appreciate each and every one of you. I thought about doing a bunch of stats, but I know you can't really top everything else that's out there. But again, thanks so much.
And I saved the food bank in Grove City, which is closest to my home, for last. I know that they are expanding their operations, to what I understand. So if you want to say something, James, you can come on up. The carriers always love it. The new carriers, we just say, go to the Purple Door Church across the street. So they know where we're going.
Well, I'd like to thank you guys for what you do. As he said, we are expanding. We used to be in the basement of the Purple Door Church. We moved up to the old parsonage. We thought, this is great. Does it last? Well, we're out of room. The need keeps growing. We see a lot of people coming in, grandparents raising their grandkids, things like that. The need in the area just keeps growing. We're working in cooperation with Grove City and with Middle Ohio Food Bank, and we're looking for a building to expand so we can serve more. We've expanded to Galloway. We now serve Grove City, Harrisburg, Orient, and Galloway. But without food drives like this, it wouldn't be possible. This is one of our biggest food drives of the year. So we really want to thank the letter carriers. We've been I've been working with you guys now for about 14 years, and it's great, the food that comes in. It really helps out. So thank you.
We have one last speaker. I'd like to introduce, it's a great pleasure, Theodis James from the Central Ohio Labor Council. We saved the best for last.
Good morning, everybody. And obviously, you know, I'm going to echo pretty much what's been said. Thank you for being here. Thank you for what you do. Laborers always want to partner up to help the community, to help those in need. That's what we're about. A lot of times there's the belief that labor is just for labor, but we're for everybody. We want everybody to have the opportunity to pay their bills and meet the needs of their family. There's nothing worse than having children and not being able to provide for them. Nothing worse. And I can't imagine that because I've never been in that position at this point. And we don't want anybody to be in that position. So saying that, these bags that you see here, there's some more back there. So you can grab them on your way out. I'm gonna grab a couple and put those items in there and put them out by my mailbox as well. We hope that you know, we fill all the needs. I'm glad we were reminded that school is going to be out, and that is a time where those lunch programs are not available to kids. So it's very important that we, actually, go beyond what the expectation is and give even more. Hopefully, at the end of the summer, there'll be some left even. The food bank does one heck of a job here in Central Ohio. I know that for a fact. They do a lot of work, and this is part of it. Thanks to the letter carriers, we appreciate that. We hope that you don't have enough room in them trucks. We hope you don't have enough. We hope you got to come back and pick up some more bags. But thank you for everything that you do, and we'll always be there with you. So thank you. And give yourself a hand.
I'd like to wrap it up today. I would like to thank everybody for coming out. Last year, I got to take over the food drive as a coordinator at basically the last minute. And when we had the kickoff event, it was myself and Todd and Brenda in Mid-Ohio. So this turnout is great. We are going to continue to try to expand this for next year. The Central Ohio Labor Council and the UFCW, who are great partners in this, we're going to get them more involved to help get the word out, get the bags out, and help with the food. Again, we couldn't do this without the United States Postal Service. I'm a very proud letter carrier, 20 years. And because of that good paying union job, I've always been able to put food on the table. And that's something I'm very proud of. And I love serving the people in my community. With that being said, I thank everyone for coming. If there's any issues tomorrow, please let me know. You all have my cell phone. And again, thank you for everything you do to help this day happen. So.